The following is a CSPN Media podcast presentation.
Hello, and welcome to Cast a Strong Style. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my co-host, none other than Anwar Starwin. What's going on, Anwar?
What's up, Don? Hello, fans.
It's good to talk to you, Anwar. We've had a little bit of a break as a G1 season has concluded, and the guys have been resting, getting some good time off, and then thus they've given us some time off.
Yeah, I enjoyed my break.
We did have some title changes, though, in the time that we were away over in the Royal Quest over in London, the London card. Kenta suffering from the effects of a concussion. I don't even think he remembers winning the match, but he defeated Ishii and he became the never openweight champion. And Tanahashi defeated Zack Sabre Jr. to become the British Rev Pro heavyweight champion. And Okada and Minoru Suzuki had a hell of a match for the IWGP heavyweight championship in which Okada retained. I haven't watched the Super J Cup, but I did watch the Will Ospreay and Amazing Red match. Did you peep that out?
I have not watched any of that stuff yet.
Okay. Well, when you get a chance, check that one out. If you're having a slow day around the house on a Saturday or Sunday and you're like, oh man, ain't nothing to do, yeah, that's a good one to pull up. So in the meantime, in between time, the destruction shows have taken place, in New Japan. So we're going to start there. And in the mix of these destruction shows, the Young Lion Cup is taking place. So the LA Dojo, the Fale Dojo, and the New Japan Dojo are all competing to see who has the best Young Lion. So there's been some really cool matches to start off these shows. And we'll talk about who won that as we get deeper into the podcast. But we'll start with Roppongi 3K teaming with the legend Jushin Thunder Liger to take on Minoru Suzuki, Kanemaru, and Doki. Sho fights off Doki, and Yo joins in for some double teams. Kanemaru makes the save, but he gets taken out. Doki counters the Project Champa and cradles Sho for a 2 count. Doki then runs into the 3K, and Sho, Yo, and Jushin Thunder Liger are your winners. After the match, Suzuki attacks and tries to unmask the legend, Jushin Thunder Liger. And then he kicks the shit out of some young lions. Liger gets the mic and he offers to fight Suzuki right now. Suzuki heads back to the ring like he's going to take him up on his challenge. And then he turns away and starts laughing as he walks to the back.
He was so fucking disrespectful.
This thing is heating up. It started during the G1 undercards, and it has just steadily ramped up between Jushin Thunder Liger and Minoru Suzuki. Every time they have an encounter, it is like getting taken up another notch.
He just like, I was just shocked. Like, he really did that shit. Like waking up and seeing that, they'll be like, huh? Like, he really did that. You fucking disrespectful as hell. Suzuki. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, you better watch out. The Birds of Prey, Robbie Eagles, and Will Ospreay, they join Hama, Makabe, and Kota Ibushi to face off against the Bullet Club team of El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, Yujiro, Kenta, and Bad Luck Fale. Robbie Eagle cuts off the GTS. Will makes the save, and Kenta then takes out Will. We get the PK by Kenta, and the cover gets a 2 count. And then the GTS finishes off Hamna, and the Bullet Club gets the win. You feeling Kenta with blonde hair?
It's a symbolism thing over there, so I get it. Like, usually when people go rogue and shit, they dye their hair or something. It's just a thing they do. So it kind of threw me off, but it's like, I get it.
I'm glad he hit Hamna in the chest and not in the chin and head area on the go to sleep so he can wrestle another day. That was very considerate of Kenta.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I thought that was just a botch.
No, we have to protect some of our guys.
I don't know.
Sanada, Bushi, and Shingo. They faced off against Okada, Goto, and Rocky Romero. Sanada hits a pop-up cutter on Okada. Romero gets back in the ring and he starts laying in the rights to Sanada. Sanada gets the skull in, he swings Rocky around and drops him down, and Rocky Romero has to tap. I'm really getting excited for this Okada versus Sanada match. These matches have really sparked my interest.
See, like, I'm intrigued by the matches, but it's kind of like, if it was a way they could have kept them apart, but they need that match just for a drawing situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, I don't want to see Sanada lose to fucking Okada again, but I know it's going to happen, so that kind of like blows me, but I know it's going to be good, especially if they could cut the match down in length. Because the G1 match kind of showed something that maybe y'all can have a great match without making this shit like 40, 45 minutes. You know? We appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okada's kind of like Ric Flair to me. Like, he don't get going until it's 30 minutes, though.
Some of Okada's best matches have been G1 where he had the time limit, so
yeah,
time limit could be good.
That is true.
Some of his best matches have been in G1, so.
But I like a long Okada match. I like the 3 stages. I like how it's like, okay, you know, you can tell they're going long. Then I like the middle part where they're starting to ramp it up. And then I like the close where it's like, hey, these last like 8 minutes were just amazing.
I don't mind all that stuff too, but I value time and I don't want to have to watch a 45-hour match all the time. It's the reason why I haven't always gone back and watched those matches with Kenny, like primarily the Dominion matches, because those fucking matches are an hour apiece. No fucking thing.
I tell you, these young kids today, they don't have patience for nothing. Can't sit still for an hour.
Y'all need to understand I'm barely a couple years younger than Don. Yes, I look young. Don't just trying that shit on y'all. Don't fall for it.
Naito and Evil, they faced up against Jay White and Chase Owens. Owens looks for the package power driver, but Naito counters until Owens hits the jewel heist for a 2 count. Evil makes the save. He hits the darkness falls. LIJ follows with double teams, and Naito gets a cradle for a 2 count. Destino connects on the Chase Owens, and Naito and Evil get the win. Naito and Jay White trying to out-heal each other at every turn.
Getting on each other's nerves. I like that they kept them 2 dudes away from each other. They was like, they got great chemistry. Just get on. It's kind of hard for like Jay White because he fucking gets under everybody's skin, but Naito is equally as good at doing that shit. And he's just like, oh, okay, you want to do this shit? I can fuck with you too, bro.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like looking in the mirror, like you great at shoulder, but I'm great too. So we gonna see who get on each other's nerves more. And most of the time, fucking Jay White gets mad. Oh, there you go.
The Gorillas of Destiny are defending their IWGP Tag Team titles against Yoshihashi and Ishii. As you know, Anwar Starwin, Yoshihashi has never worn a championship title in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Never going to get it, never ever going to never going to get it, 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 never going to get it. Get it.
Yoshihashi hits a huge lariat, and the Kumagoroshi follows for a great near fall. Kenta arrives and distracts Yoshihashi, and Tonga Loa cradles him with the tights, and the Gorillas of Destiny get the win.
This match is too fucking long. It's like, I liked it. I've seen the progression that G.O.D. has done as a tag team, but y'all ain't need to make this match as long. And the finish kind of had me like, yo, nah. I like the match, but it's just kind of like, it's synergy with, like, this is like the crew of Bullet Club that be really tight like shit, helping each other. So I get that fight. But the other part is like, man, fucking shenanigans. I don't want to see this. And plus, I want to see Yoshihashi get a win. But, you know.
I was watching this, and as soon as Kenta came down, my first thought was, I wonder what Anwar Star was thinking, and if he just threw his hands up in the air like, this fucking bullshit here.
Yeah, man.
Tanahashi, he is defending his newly won Rev Pro Championship against Zack Sabre Jr. Tanahashi counters the PK into a dragon screw. The straight jacket German suplex follows for a 2 count. Zack Sabre Jr. counters, but Tanahashi counters into a cradle, and they keep trading counters into pin attempts. Zack Sabre Jr. finally gets a banana split cradle, and he pins Tanahashi to regain the Rev Pro Championship.
Man, Tanahashi, like, they have really good chemistry, and this is just another example. They added more flair, I guess, to this one, instead of just the technical shit, which I appreciate. But then I'm also thinking, like, damn, Tanahashi's been Mr. Trans-System champion this year, buddy.
Tanahashi hit the high fly flow once, and then, you know, we're usually used to the, you know, the repeat. But on this one, he had it in his mind that he wanted to submit Zack Sabre Jr. So he goes to, like, put him into these various submissions, and then that's when Zack Sabre Jr. caught him slipping. Yeah,
man, you can't be playing around with that.
And then Zack Sabre Jr. cuts a Zack Sabre Jr. promo as only he can afterwards.
Yep, and he said he's trying to be the first Triple Crown champion, where, like, most of my friends was like, Zach, that's a different company, buddy.
So the Destruction Show in Beppu was what we just got to be talking about. I thought that the last 3 matches were really strong. That Evil and Naito tag team match versus Jay White and Chase Owens was a lot of fun. Gorillas of Destiny, even with the shenanigans, they, like you said, you can see that they've definitely improved a lot as far as their match structure and how they're working. And then Tanahashi and then Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, just give me about 2 or 3 weeks between the matches, and I could probably watch that once a month.
Nah, man, let them not see her for like a year or so.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying in perspective, but they have awesome chemistry. Like you said, they always have a different match every time they have a match. So it's a lot of fun. And I just love Zack Sabre Jr. I just think his style is so good because it's different than everybody else's, and it just makes for everybody else to have to kind of get to his level. Like, don't let Zack Sabre Jr. stretch me. And they wrestle that way, and it's really fun to watch.
I would like to see Zach get his hands on that Anaconda championship someday.
Now we're going to turn over to the Destruction card in Kagoshima, is how you say that? The hometown of Kota Ibushi.
Yep.
So we're going to start with Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Roppongi 3K, Yo and Show versus Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Bad Luck Fale, and Chase Owens. Owens cuts off Yo, but runs into the double knees. Tonga Loa hits the Tongan twist, but Show saves Yo, and Yo cradles Tonga Loa for the win. So while he's celebrating as a member of the junior tag team division, pinning the heavyweight tag team champions, God kicks the shit out of Yo post-match, and they stand tall.
Hey, mad as shit that they lost to Yo again.
Hell yeah, they was mad.
He's losing the junior heavyweight.
Good elevation for Yo and Show. Always glad to see those boys get up into the upper echelon of the card. So hopefully they can keep building this little program between them and the tag team champions GOD. I mean, we know how it's going to end, but at least it'll be a fun match.
Yep.
Tanahashi, Makabe, Hamna, and the legend Jushin Thunder Liger. They take on Suzuki Gun in the form of Zack Sabre Jr., Minoru Suzuki, Kanemaru, and Doki. We get the Shote by Jushin Thunder Liger, and the cover gets 2 count. Liger hits another Shote, but Minoru Suzuki attacks and tries to rip off his mask. Jushin Thunder Liger fires back. Suzuki attacks with chair shots on Jushin Thunder Liger for the disqualification. After the match, Minoru Suzuki is successful in unmasking Jushin Thunder Liger as the Young Lions cover up his face. Liger gets on the mic and says Suzuki has crossed the line and he vows to get his revenge.
So fucking disrespectful. I literally woke up on that match. I woke up in time to that match and I saw that and I was like, wow, you so fucking rude, Suzuki. How dare you do that to Jushin Thunder Liger? Motherfucker. Oops. Don't hurt me, Suzuki.
Again, just another level in the escalation. Minoru Suzuki was vicious with the chair shots. He finally got the mask off. He's been trying for the mask for like the last month and a half, it seems like. He finally got it. And then Jushin Thunder Liger is cutting this promo with his towel over his face with the mic underneath the towel. It's the weirdest thing ever, but still didn't get a glimpse of the legend. So luckily everything is still intact there. But this is ramping up to a very, 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 very large climax. Okada, Goto, and Rocky Romero, Chaos. They faced off against Lij in the form of Sanada, Shingo, and Bushi. Goto hits a lariat. Okada then tombstones Sanada. We get the drop kick on Bushi, and the top rope elbow drop follows. The Rainmaker finishes off Bushi, and Chaos is victorious.
Man, like I just enjoyed the Goto Shingo like interactions, and I also kind of enjoyed like Okada being a dickhead to like Sonata too. So that was cool.
I enjoy like, Rocky and Bushi. That's
yeah,
my deal.
Yeah, I want to see them like get a singles match at some point again because those two have good chemistry.
That might be one of the matches they add to King of Pro Wrestling coming up here.
Maybe, man.
October Ray. Naito and Evil, they're teaming up again to go against Jay White and Yujiro. Naito cuts off Yujiro, it breaks down, and Jay White gets dumped to the outside. Lij double teams Yujiro, and the Evil clothesline gets 2 count. Everything is Evil follows that, and Lij gets the win. But after the match, Jay White comes in, hits Naito with a low blow, and then he starts mocking him.
Such a dick.
These two guys, I'll tell you, man, it is just like one-upsmanship at its finest.
Very much so. It's been fun. I like how they building up Evil too. People been peeping at.
El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori, they defended their IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles against the Birds of Prey, Will Ospreay, and Robbie Eagles. The Ron Miller special is countered. We get a belt shot by Ishimori, and Phantasmo cradles Robbie Eagles for a 2 count. The Argentine Cutter gets a 2 count as Will makes the save. The Oz Cutter is countered, and the champions follow with double teams. They double super kick Eagles into the Bloody Cross, and then the CR2 finishes off Robbie Eagles, and the champions of El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori retain their titles.
Man, I rewatched that before I started talking with you. That match is a lot of fun.
It started a little slow, but yeah,
Yeah, man. Like it was one spot, particular area in the match where Phantasmo was on fire. That shit was great to watch. I don't fuck with ELP like that. But he has his moment, and him and Ishimori got better as a tag team. I guess working on those like tag team matches has definitely helped them. Because I remember that IWGP Junior tag match they had versus 3K, and that shit was nah. That shit was not. No, that was not. That was not what. That's not. That was. It was not it, Chief.
Spoiler alert, El Phantasmo, after winning the Super J Cup, has become even more of a dick.
As long as he's not making fun of people who got autism, he can have his fun. And let's not make fun of people with disabilities who got no control over that shit. He apologized, though. I respect that. But you can get heat different ways than doing some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. He got talent. He can keep getting better. We'll see. You know, another thing about that match, too, it's too bad that, like, AEW and New Japan don't get along right now. Because Birds of Prey and Young Bucks will make so much fucking money. It's like, I know a bad nigga watching that match like, fuck, man. That would definitely make them some money, man. But, you know, motherfuckers ain't getting along. So what can you do?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure eventually cooler heads will prevail.
I don't know. They stole their talent and then do stuff in contracts to prevent talent appearing on shows by New Japan in America and, like, I think England. So I don't know about that shit, buddy. And I think Canada. So.
It's all about where they've got TV at. They can't be anywhere they've got TV, so that's the deal.
Kind of hard to be friends with you when somebody take your talent and then block you using certain talent in the country. So yeah, maybe someday, but not no time soon.
It's time for the main event. The hometown boy, Kota Ibushi, versus Kenta. And this is for basically Kota Ibushi's briefcase and his right to be in the championship match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Ibushi and Kenta, they trade strikes. Ibushi is rocked and the PK connects for a 2 count. Then Kenta hits Kamigoye for a 2 count. The go to sleep is counter as Ibushi hits a jumping knee strike and his own Kamigoye for a 2 count. He follows up with another Kamigoye, and Kota Ibushi retains the briefcase. Evil appears and he says that he's up next to challenge Ibushi, since he was the one who beat Ibushi in the G1 as well.
Oh, let me tell you things all. That man was hiding in the shadows. And Ibushi looked at him like he was fucking crazy. Oh, that was great, man. He was hiding his hands like we didn't know it was fucking evil in the corner. Come on, bro. We knew it. We know the people who lost to in G1. Come on, dog. But yeah, that was hilarious. And as far as this match, it's like on one hand, I appreciate it as far as storytelling and whatnot. But on the other hand, I just want to see some fucking good matches without stupid ass running.
Doesn't look like Kenta is on that program these days, sir.
It don't look like it, and that makes you wonder, is this something done to protect him because he can't go like he used to? Or this is just some Bullet Club bullshit? If it's Bullet Club bullshit, okay, whatever. But it's kind of also like establishing him as, I guess, the new underboss? I don't know. I think somebody said he's the new underboss, so props to the person who came up with that, because it kind of feels like he's the new underboss. So, I mean, like, it was a good match, and if you take just both parts and like both of that shit, I can see how you're really high on the match. This is not necessarily a match I will watch a bunch of times, but I appreciate it though.
It wasn't their G1 match from Dallas for sure.
No, it was not. No.
This is Cast a Strong Style. I'm here, your host, Don Delarente, with my co-host, Anwar Starwin. We're going over the destruction cards that they had this past 2 weeks over in New Japan. We're coming to our final card, Destruction in Kobe. This is the grand finale, the large, big night that everybody's been building up towards. In the basically deciding match of the Young Lions Cup, Shota Umino faced off against Carl Fredericks. Fredericks fights off the Fisherman Suplex, hits a nasty Saito, and then a spine buster. The half crab follows, Shota fights, Frederick then stomps away at him and sinks in the Boston Crab deeper, and Shota Umino taps out. And Fredericks wins the Young Lions Cup with 12 points. Shota has 10. Ren Narita had 8, I think. And I think Connors had 8. So, very good matches there. Good competitive stuff from the Young Lions. Congratulations to Mr. Fredericks. And what does he win, Anwar?
The giant ass, like trophy.
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, he didn't win nothing, but he won the trophy, though.
All they get to do is, work extra hard in the dojo.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
We had Chaos in the form of Makabe, Hamna, and Hanare face off against Bad Luck Fale, Yujiro, and Chase Owens. It breaks down. Makabe dumps Fale to the outside. They isolate Chase Owens. Owens hits the jewel heist for a 2 count. The knee strike and the package power driver finishes it, and the Bullet Club gets the win. And Chase Owens is absolutely irate that the Rock and Roll Express are going to be at these shows coming up in, I think it's Pennsylvania.
Why he hating? Oh yeah, one of his trainers is one of them dudes.
Yeah, Ricky Morton, and they're gonna wrestle. I don't know. I guess him and Yujiro are gonna wrestle the Rock and Roll Express. So he's been going crazy to Kevin Kelly about, Kevin Kelly, I know it was you who invited the Rock and Roll Express. What are they even doing here? So that'd be interesting to see how those matches play out. Tanahashi, the Legend, Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, and Rocky Romero are going up against Suzuki Gun in the form of Zack Sabre Jr., Minoru Suzuki, Kanemaru, and Doki. Jushin Thunder Liger attacks Suzuki during his entrance, leading to this big-ass brawl on the floor. Jushin Thunder Liger is all fired up. They all pair off as Suzuki Gun starts to take control. Minoru Suzuki pulls out a table. They work into the ring, and Suzuki sets up the table in the corner, and he nails Jushin Thunder Liger with chair shots. Suzuki Gun holds off the faces as Suzuki chokes out Liger, but Liger low blows him. Then Jushin Thunder Liger removes his own mask, rips off his top, and Kishin fucking Liger is here. The Beast God is coming for Suzuki's soul. He missed Suzuki. He grabs one of the spikes that they use to tighten up the turnbuckles, and he tries to stab Suzuki, but misses. The spike goes through the table. Minoru Suzuki, with his eyes as big as saucers, is running for his life. Looks like he's just seen the devil himself. And Jushin Thunder Liger has morphed into Kishin Liger.
I did not expect none of that shit. It was all a surprise. It was a great setup, and I'm glad I saw it because I did not think I would ever see that form of Liger ever again. And the fact that I saw him do it live, like with everybody else watching around the world, that made it even more special. The fact that Suzuki so actual fucking fear, that made it even more better because Suzuki ain't scared of shit. So that is one of the that whole angle is just fucking great.
Clue the people in who aren't aware of what this version of Jushin Thunder Liger means. Do you have a equivalent that they could maybe relate it to?
I guess in a sense, for younger people, I guess this would be equivalent to Finn going to demon mode or whatever. So I kind of think that would be the equivalent. But this version of Liger don't fucking play. So it's just he don't come out with this version himself too much. So like this is the fourth time in like 20 something years that he's done it. So yeah, you really gotta get that match to a certain point where he just goes there and goes dark. And I guess for younger people, the Demon is the best counter example for this generation, I guess, to a degree.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. So yes, give me my money. October 14th, I am going to be there, front and center. I don't even know what day of the week that's on, but things will be shutting down so I can see that match.
Have they confirmed that as a match for King of Pro Wrestling?
I think so. Everything I'm hearing is been like they've been building it up towards that day.
I haven't heard that exactly. People don't know if it's going to be that or Power Struggle. So I don't know.
Power Struggle would be fun.
I mean, they need some feature matches for Power Struggle too. Can't give away all your big matches at like King of Pro Wrestling, you know?
Yeah, this is true.
So I don't know. I think they might do another like IC title defense at Power Struggle. I don't know.
Ishii, Yoshihashi, Will Ospreay, Sho and Yo. They faced off against Kenta, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, Taji Ishimori, and El Phantasmo. Tongaloa spears Ishii. Yo runs in and gets caught with the power slam. God then hits guerrilla warfare and Yoshihashi makes the save. Kenta pulls Yoshihashi to the floor. Sho cuts off the magic killer. Yo cradles Tongaloa again for the win. And the same thing happened. God lays out Yo and they stand tall after the match.
Man, I laugh at Yo's victory reaction of God. He'd be so fucking happy. It's so cute.
Hey, man. He's trying to show that he, too, is a valuable member of Roppongi 3K. Everybody's all on show all the time. He's like, hey, I'm here, too.
I like Yo, man. I like Ishii and Ospreay's tag team offense in that match.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff going on.
Give me Ishii and Ospreay. I'll be happy.
Well, he's heavyweight now, so they could go after the titles, presumably.
Nah, he ain't no heavyweight. He's still the junior heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He just competed in G1.
Yeah.
That threw me off. Okada, Kota Ibushi, and Robbie Eagles, they faced off against Sanada, Evil, and Bushi. Sanada counters a Tebo backpack into the skull end, swings him around, but swings Eagles around, but Okada hits a drop kick. It breaks down until Sanada gets the skull end, and Robbie Eagles has to tap out. Okada and Sanada, and then Evil and Bushi get into a little bit of a post-match stare down kind of, we got next type of situation. That was really cool, setting up these two singles matches.
I like how Okada probably took it like a botch and made it into something after the match where he kept trying to fucking drop kick Sanada, and Sanada just kept moving every time. And Ibushi, like Evil, was just no selling Ibushi shit. Like that was cool. So yeah.
Now for probably the match of the night. Goto faces off against Shingo Takagi. Goto counters After the Dragon into the Shotenkai, but can't follow up. Goto struggles to his feet, follows with kicks. The GTR is countered by a headbutt. Goto hits the Ishigaroshi for a great near fall. Then the GTR follows, and Goto gets the win.
Shingo was really disrespectful in this match. He was doing Goto's moves on him and shit.
It was
so disrespectful.
this was a hell of a match, man. This was just as good as their G1 match. They was going fucking at it.
I like it. This one's pace was slower at the beginning, and then they hit that final, like, mid and final stretch is the strongest fuck. I still kind of favor that G1 match, but this is awesome, too. So, they got great chemistry, and Goto got his win back, so.
Yeah,
you the man, but not right now.
They got Goto on quite a streak, man. He's looked really strong since the G1.
Yeah, he has, but you know what's going to happen. Same damn thing that always happened with Goto. So that's my man, but I ain't stupid.
Main event time. They've been going at each other for the better part of a month and a half, trying to one-up each other in all these tag team matches and multi-man tag team matches. But now it's finally here. Naito versus Jay White for the Intercontinental title. The sleeper suplex is countered into a German by Naito, and they work into counters until Jay White hits the sleeper suplex. White hits a second sleeper suplex, and the Blade Runner is countered into a Dragon suplex. Naito struggles, he hits a short Destino and gets a 2 count. Then the regular Destino is countered, they work into more counters, and then Jay White hits the Blade Runner, and Jay White is your new Intercontinental Champion.
Not surprised in the least. They have a long-term story, and if they want to like build up Naito to the point where they wanted to be, he had to lose today. So even if things don't go the way some of us want, he still had to lose today because like Jay White wouldn't have really had nothing to do at Wrestle Kingdom. So he had to win right here. So it was a really good match. I like how they trolled each other. It was better than their G1 match. So they got a really cool chemistry. And the post-match roll call that Jay White did was so fucking great. As a person that loves trolling, he killed that man Naito with the trolls. And it wasn't as many people leaving like at the G1 final, like these boxers. but people got up and said, "Man, fuck this dude! I want his bullshit." And left.
Yeah, it was so obvious after the G1. At least on this one, nobody facing the hard camera was like actively getting up and leaving. But after the match, Jay White, like Anwar said, gets on the mic. He starts mocking Naito and LIJ, and that's when Goto arrives. Jay White's like, "Nah, man, nope, I'm not facing you. Nope, you're not next. You're not next in line. Nope, nope." He's like, "I know what you're gonna say," and before he could even finish his sentence, bam, Goto lays him out. Goto makes the challenge, and so that's gonna be our next program: Jay White and Goto for the IC title.
Hey man, I mean, Goto did beat him at G1, so
yes, he did.
He just got a big win versus Shingo, so I mean, he's hot right now, but we all know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to win, and Goto's going to lose again because that's what he does in championship matches for the most part. Takes some big L's.
I thought this was so much fun. The final night with that Liger angle. With the main event, the semi-main event was awesome.
Yep. LIJ Chaos having fun too was dope.
Yeah, I thought they closed out this run of shows really strong, and I can't wait to see what we get in October and November. That's going to set us up for January because we all know December is the World Tag League, and that's basically a wash. So we got basically 2 more months to set up what's going to happen at Wrestle Kingdom, and I can't wait.
Yeah, man. So, yep, it's going to be fun. It's going to be also interesting if G1 is moved next year to later in the year because of the Olympics in Japan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because if that's happened, I think more people want to try to go see it because I heard the weather is way better in the fall versus the summer where the heat is just pretty fucking oppressive. Oh.
Right.
And you could probably get cheaper airfares to go to G1. So if you thinking of going to see some New Japan shows, maybe save some money, start saving money now to try to get over there for those last 3 days of G1. The block finals and the main event, like the main G1 finals. Those are the 3 shows I would advise you to try to go to if you can. But yeah, man, Destruction is usually a tour I don't really fuck with like that much because it'd be after G1 and the span between G1 and Wrestle Kingdom. You kind of can feel it after that. But this Destruction tour was pretty dope. So props to New Japan.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the Young Lions and watching those, getting familiar with some of the LA Dojo guys, seeing what Shibata has been cooking up, and he's got some guys that look really good. The Alex Coughlin dude looks really promising. So hopefully, you know, he can do his thing and stay with the program, and we can see where he goes in a couple of years. I mean, just think, 4 years ago, Jay White was a young boy in this thing, and now he's your Intercontinental Champion. He's been your IWGP Champion. So, you know, follow these guys now because, you know, they are the future. At this point, Mr. Anwar Starwin, it's your stage to give out all your shout-outs and thank yous.
Shout out to Jupiter Jewelers because he's the best. Shout out to Madam Zick because she's also the best. Shout out to my friend Dominique. Shout out to Wesley Snow because she's cool too. And shout out to Don. Shout out to my man Mike Janae. I mean, you know my man's name that I can't remember right now that Don was filling the place for me. You rule. Shout out to everybody that listens. Love y'all. And have a nice time.
Thank you, Mr. Anwar Starwin, for joining me on this edition of Cast of Strong Style. Thanks to everybody who listens to us on the CSPN, everybody who listens to the WrestleCast, everybody who live tweets, who uses the hashtag Cast of Strong Style to share their pro wrestling commentary with color. We definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to travel over to cspn.us, support the podcast by clicking on that tab that says Keep Our Podcast Free. Shop with our sponsors. Some of your purchase will come back to help keep Cast of Strong Style and all the podcasts here on the CSPN free of charge. Also, our Patreon page is another way that you can support the show. Go over to patreon.com/CSPN Media. Check out the Dark Match. You can always hear Anwar Starwin make some comments on more domesticated wrestling programs over on the Dark Match. He weighs in this week about Kofi Kingston and his title run. So I think he gives out some really good thoughts everybody should check out. So please sign up to become a Patreon member over on patreon.com/CSPN Media and listen to the Dark Match. So for my co-host, Anwar Starwin, I'm your host, Don Delarente, and this has been Cast of Strong Style.
Cast of Strong Style.